Hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Today's video, I am going to be doing a get ready with me, and I'm just going to be chatting. And I'm inspired by my nails, so I'm going to try to make an eyeshadow look that maybe doesn't match them perfectly, but it's just, inspired by that. And yeah, so let's go ahead and just get into this. All right, I'm going to start by priming my eyes. And so since I'm doing let me show you my nails up close. All right, so right now they are more purple base because my hands are warmer, but it is actually a color shifting thermal nail polish underneath, so it goes a little blue sometimes. So I am going to be trying to do purple and blue and pink and sparkles. And so since it's kind of pastel as well, I'm gonna use my white base here. I use this sometimes even when it's not a pastel look. This is just another option for me because I want to make sure I am using, which I think I'm doing pretty well because I got this at some point in the second half of last year. So I feel like, maybe I'm not going to use it up this year, but I don't know, what is their shelf life? Oh, it says 9 months. I definitely had them longer than that. And I feel like, if anything, because you're sharpening it, that it kind of helps keep it fresh. So maybe that's wrong. I don't know. But that's how I feel about it. So yeah, this week has been pretty hectic. I feel like everything was front loaded. When I'm filming, this is actually a Thursday and it's the chill day. I still had some things to do, but it's, I did most of my activities this week on the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So what was Monday? I'm trying to remember. I don't know. Was it like, oh, that's right. I had like my dentist appointment. I had to prep clay for a lesson. I had to, I guess, just other chores and things like that. Yeah, I think like there were a lot of chores that were happening because I knew they were going to happen later in the week necessarily. And then, for bronzer, I'm actually using an eyeshadow here that I have found works really well. I do have a bronzer that I can franken to make work, but why not get used on this? This is actually older than the bronzer I have anyway, and I don't have to do anything, and it works. What am I going to do next? I'm not going to talk through everything I'm doing. You can just kind of see. I don't know. It's like, what vibes am I feeling for what I'm going to use next? And which brush and all that. All right. I feel like I'm going to use a little bit of a cream up here to keep it light. Yeah, and then the Tuesday was my really long meeting, and then I did groceries, and then there were more chores and all, I think, that day. And then yesterday, one of my kids was doing a spelling bee, so we had to have time for that, but then the other kid had massive homework, so we were trying to fit that in, and there's a quiz. It was hard for them to do the homework, and then there was also the clay lesson then was happening, and then more chores, and so yeah. I on purpose though did some of the things the other days, I made them a little busier, but then it kind of meant that today could be a little bit more relaxed, so I had to go to the library, but that was fine. And then I picked up a couple ingredients from the store because I bake things. It used to be each month I would bake things for my dad, as it's like a birthday present that he gets all year, like a subscription, if you will. But then the problem was that it's really expensive now to ship the stuff. So it's sort of as possible to ship things, I guess. As I'm able to make the stuff and, get things and all that. All right, I'm gonna start going in with some blues. Pat out this primer. But yeah, and so the spelling bee, we knew all the rules. We did it last year as well. And the thing was that when we were practicing this year, the words, they were doing so much better. Oh, in case you haven't noticed, I do say they, or just try to be very vague. I try not to share certain things about my kids, you know, like super identifying information, just to allow them that privacy. So, you know, we're gonna say they. But yeah, so they had done it last year. They were, you know, I felt like they worked harder this year with trying to learn the words and all, which was, you know, really good to see. And then the one issue though, when we were practicing that kept coming up was when they would go to spell something, they would just like swap the letters. Like they knew the order, like they could spell it, but then they would just, you know, you're spelling the and you just go TEH. Just randomly, you know, and it's like, well, no, that's not right. And the rule that apparently a lot of parents didn't realize, because some people were like, wait, why did your kid get out? And then like another kid had gotten out earlier for the same reason, that they didn't know that you can't, you know, correct yourself essentially, because when they were spelling the word, they started off fine, then said a letter in the wrong spot, and like, and then restarted. You're allowed to restart, but you can't change the order. So if you were spelling, what's a longer word? Palette, and you said PALET, and it's like, wait, is it two T's or not? PALETTE. Like you can say that, that's allowed, but you can't, you know, if you were spelling the and you said TEH, no, THE, you can't do that. So it's one of those where I'm like, well, you did learn a whole bunch of words. And so I am proud of you for that. You know, like that was one of the things we talked about, that it's not, you know, just about, I mean, only one person wins. Only one person really comes out successful in that sense, if you will, which is then makes it really hard to do well, you know, if that's how it is. And so, how do I do this? I'm gonna try like this. So I'm like, you know, you came out, you learned all these words. Technically, you didn't get out because you didn't know how to spell the word. You just had a goof. So, you know, there's that. I feel like I lost my train of thought though. There was something else I'm gonna share. But, that, you know, in the real world, like when there's a spelling test in school, you are allowed to write the word, you know, the way, and then like, if you look at it and you're like, oh wait, because that's one thing that you can write it down. That's helpful for a lot of people for spelling, but it's like, you're able to write it down. And then let's say you're like, oh wait, that doesn't look right. Let me fix it. And then you can do that. You can come back in and change, you know, what you had. But if you turned in your test and then you're asking the teacher to, you know, can I fix something? I realized I goofed. It's like, well, no. And they understood that. They're like, yeah, that makes sense, you know. And it's like, yeah, so the spelling bee is not real world spelling by any means, because that's not how you would spell something in the real world. If you spelled it wrong, then you could fix yourself. Oh wow, that is such a pretty blow. This is not the vibe I was going for, but it is so pretty that I'm not mad, I guess. But it is kind of causing some fallout. Yes, all over. Okay, all right, well, let me just do some more blending and then we'll see. Okay, oh, it's blending out a little bit, but I might have to go back in with some more. Well, but if I put shimmer on top too, then it's okay that took over a little bit. I'm just kind of having fun playing with my blues and things like that. Okay, I might start going in with a shimmer. And in fact, I'm going in with a loose pigment for my shimmer. So be proud of me for that, because this is one that I think I haven't used yet since I started my use all my eyeshadows 10 times each thing. I'm pretty sure I noticed that because I filmed that update yesterday. So see, that was something else. I was gonna do it today, or even potentially next week, but I went ahead and I was like, no, it was actually a really good update. So that should be up before this. So if you haven't watched it, I'd recommend it. It's the February update of this. I'm not sure when this video will go up, but it's the February of my all eyeshadows on deck. And I used quite a few. I hit, maybe it's about my average number of new pans or so. I don't know, it was decent pans. And then what was the other thing? Just how many shades I used. Oh, how many eyeshadows I finished now in that project. It was way more, like I had to go back and double check. I'm like, no, there's no way. But yes, I think part of it, and I think I had said that for the last month, that it's like, oh, a lot of these eyeshadows I got really close to finishing, but I hadn't. And so this past month, I then spent the time to kind of go back and get those final uses in on some of those shades. So, you know, there you go. And there's also some others that, again, I'm really close on, so I could finish, you know, this month for then. So, you know, we'll see, or at some point. Because that's kind of the fun part too about that project, is if I, you know, it's like, even if I didn't finish certain ones, I've still made progress on them. And so at some future month, it makes it easier. And so, you know, again, it's like with the spelling bee, it's like, well, maybe you didn't win, but winning doesn't get you anything anyway, because there's no like next level or something for it, for this. I feel like it's a little, do I need more primer or do I need to wet this? Let me try wetting it. All right, let's see if that's better. But you know, so it's like you came out of it with like the public speaking practice, you know, being on a stage, you learned a whole bunch of words. And I mean, I was so proud of that, because, you know, some of the words, like think about like chocolate. I know, look, now I'm saying it kind of like that, but chocolate doesn't sound like how it looks. And so they were doing chocolate to help remember, you know, and then I taught saying February, you know, things like that. And, you know, and it was working. And it's like, now there's these words that you can spell because of that. Okay, now what do I want to do? Maybe work in some purple. That's what I want. And I'm going to use a fresh brush, and I'm going to end up probably washing my brushes after this. Just because, oh yeah, I like having this touch of purple. That is good. And there's this other shimmer that I want to kind of use too. I'm just not sure how I want to work it in. Okay, this is almost, I just feel like I'm kind of like watercolor painting, just kind of putting things on and seeing how it all goes. I got a little flop from that because I'm just kind of flopping it on here. Flopping it, slopping it, slapping it, you know. But yeah, so they did say they don't want to do spelling bee next year because of that rule. It's fine. It wasn't my idea to do the spelling bee last year or this year. That was what they wanted to do, so I, you know, allowed that to happen. I want to add, I feel like a little purple over here, but I'm not sure this is the right purple. So let's see, that's a little bit more, well, but I guess pink is, it's like a pinky purple, and I did want to have a little bit of that, but I might need to blend this a little bit differently. But yeah, I mean, it was, I think, a hopefully overall good experience. Hopefully my other kid is doing okay on their math quiz today. That teacher is just, I'm not a fan, but my own kid could be doing better on certain things as well, so there's that. But, you know, I mean, no one's perfect. I feel like there's a lot of transition happening for them this year, so that is that. Let's see. Okay. So I could add that one shimmer on top down here. Kind of, maybe let me go in and do, I have this other lighter purple. What if I put this up here to help blend out here? Just to try it out. And it's like, hey, it's at least giving me some other eyeshadow uses, right? That one purple, I'm not sure how I feel about it with layering. It might not have worked the best, but I do have a lot of eyeshadow going on right now. All right, yeah, I want to put something, I often do something dark here, but I kind of want to keep it more ethereal. So there's the one shimmer I'm thinking of. But I have so many pretty shimmers here. Yeah, because this blue shimmer here, but it's like it almost comes off more pink when it did work really well actually up on my brow bone. So I might do that again. Yeah, because it's like this glow, if you can see that. So it does come off more pink. And so I think I might just stick with using that up on the brow bone again. But what did I use for that? I'm just gonna get another brush. Honestly, like I said, I'm gonna be washing these. So I'll just throw in another one, I don't care. It doesn't change that much. Yes, see, like up here, that it has that little bit of shine of pink, and then the blue base works with what I have underneath here, so that's fine. And then I'll put another shimmer down here instead. Yeah, this is a great brow bone shade because I like that there's a shift. It's just something a little interesting. It's a little like, and it catches the eye slightly. Okay. What shimmer do I go for? I have so many different ones, which is awesome, but I have so many options. Okay, I've got a whole bunch of shimmers swatched right now. So I've got these right here. So we could think of it as like 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I do the same thing where it's like, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, of course, then yeah, that doesn't really go with the counting. I'm thinking, I feel like this one is a little too strong. Like the colors are good, but I think it's like too much for what I want right there. But then this one might not be strong enough. I'm kind of leaning into this one, which is my Haley's Comet. I'm gonna start with that and see, and I just have it on my finger already. Let's see, now I'm gonna go in with the brush. And the brush is already dried out, so I can re-wet it. I might also do more primer. Okay. So let me just put some there, because there's a whole bunch of matte. Ooh, I think I got some on my eyelash. So there's a lot of matte eyeshadow happening there, so let's see. This is an eyeshadow that maybe I could finish up this year. Oh yeah, I like that there's a pop of pink with it, but then when I turn, you get some of the blue as well. So I think that is a good choice. Yeah, I think then tomorrow should not be super wild. We have to go to the Asian grocery store, and then I help at the library, but that's all pretty normal. I might do some chores that would be from the weekend, because on Saturday, I actually kind of want to put a little bit of this. Since it's already on my finger, why not? There's a birthday party on Saturday, so I might, and it's in like the second half of the day, so I might do some chores today, tomorrow, help with that, which I know I just said today was gonna be chill, but I am the type that likes to do stuff now to help for later. All right, I decided the one pink that I was like, oh, maybe it's not enough. I am gonna kind of like just tap it around. Just like, that was a little bit, it stuck a little bit, because I did wash my hands, and so now they're a little bit wet, so there's that. So I might have to go back in and add a little bit more blue, something. Just kind of not going on exactly the way I intended, but yeah, I kind of messed it up a little bit, but it's okay. I mean, it's still like pretty, but yeah, I want to even out the shimmer there. So all right, let's see. I used this for the blue, so let me do. What if I use this one? That might work well. Okay. Yeah, and if you're like wondering what palettes and all I'm using and shades, like my goodness, I've got singles out. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 palettes. I mean, working between. So yeah, there's a lot. There's the loose pigments. So. Okay. That became a little harsh, so let me blend that, say, with this blue, a little lighter. Just kind of blend it out some. Yes, I think that's better. So yeah, it's just kind of like a wash of colors, like a mix or blend of them and like sparkles and stuff. And I feel like that's good. My inner corner, I'm gonna go just for a cream. And it's gonna be a matte cream. Once I clean off the green that was on this brush. Just put that. And this is a super pigmented one. This is from Sydney Grace, and it's not the best for like blending something out because it's so pigmented that it can take over, but you know, it's very good if you want to like have an intense white. So, all right, and now for the lower lash line. Now I can have fun with some other shimmers or do something, but I think I should stick with the same general vibe. All right, I'm gonna do a darker purple down here. So something dark on the lower lash line has been on this. So this is the one dark shimmer from the Crystallized palette. And so it's got like all sorts of kind of, it's like a hollow type of shade almost. And so in the light, it's really pretty. But I've been liking a dark shade under here and what it does for my eye shape and that kind of thing. And then I take it over a bit, and then I'm gonna have something else I think to kind of blend into, because then there's this stark white. So let me think, what should I use? I'm gonna stick with this pastel-y thing happening, but more cool toned. Another shade from the Crystallized palette. I might do that, but well, I did on the one, so I gotta do it over here now. I'm kind of thinking about, now I want to put a matte eyeshadow. Okay, I think now I am relatively happy with that, but I might actually use a little bit of a color correcting concealer. I don't always do this. This is, I mean, gosh, I haven't washed my brushes then for, you know, this week, and I don't have a concealer brush there. So that shows, and I don't think I used one last week either. So, you know, it's just kind of random when I decide to use it. I noticed a little bit of darkness under my eyes this morning, so the blue and whatnot eyeshadow falling out down here certainly doesn't help. So let me go ahead and put this on. Might have been a little too much, but it's okay. I will do my best to blend it out. Maybe my sponge could help with that. And now I feel like I lost a little blush. So I'm going to use, I have this pale pink eyeshadow that works for it. That was rude. Apparently my storage was full, so we'll see if this, hopefully it came back. Things are a little weird looking. I don't know. I was gonna show off how pretty my brush handle looks because I got some of the eyeshadow on it, so I just thought that was funny. All right, well, I guess my phone is telling me I need to speed this up because I'm taking too long. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of this pale pink to kind of top off the blush here a bit. And it can kind of go up to the eye some as well. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do maybe some eyeliner and we'll see what else to finish this off. Okay, I'm back with my finished look. I added eyeshadow for eyeliner. I did my brows, I used mascara, and then I did my current favorite lip combo plus a liner. So I don't always use this, but this is just my pink lip liner that I have from LA Girl in the shade Pinky. But my favorite combo right now, especially with the cool tone look, has been this Naked from Milani over everything, and then around the edges, my So Obsessed lip crayon from Milani as well, which I would not suggest getting, even though I like it, because oh my gosh, the price of this has doubled from when I got it just a couple years ago. So it is not worth, to me, the amount that they're charging for it. This has gone up in price some, but not nearly as much as this. And you get way more product in this than you do in this. So just saying. But yeah, so I think I did a pretty good job of being inspired by my nails to do my eyes. And I hope you enjoy this chatty get ready with me. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed already to my channel and you like watching someone go through their collection, talking about not buying a lot, you know, not just buying all the new things all the time, then maybe you would be interested in watching more of my videos. But I do want to thank you for watching this one. And until my next one, I hope that you will be doing well, and I'll see you then. Bye!